Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Kamusta kayong lahat? It's little past 10 p.m. here in Metro Manila, and I just finished doing a live audio on my account, and I thought I'd drop by in here and check on you guys. Kamusta kayo? And I put here as a picture. What if your biggest fear is the doorway to your biggest life breakthrough? I've sort of like been reflecting on this, and this is a message that has been, I think, all throughout my life. Ito naman lagi yung, this is what always pops up, and this is always where I get my biggest learning. So that's why I wanted to do this live tonight. Usually, there are things in life that we hate. 'Di ba? Like meron tayong mga bagay na hindi natin gustong ma-experience because it's, I don't know, it's painful, it's uncomfortable. Like we want life to unfold a certain way. And when it's unfolding the way we think it should, our health, our finances, our relationships, then we sort of like, we're happy, we're grateful, we're excited, and we have peace of mind. And the moment that something happens and medyo hindi siya nagmamatch, it doesn't match up with the expectations that we set. And there's nothing wrong with them, but I'm just saying is the moment that it doesn't match up, a lot of us break down. And when we're breaking down, we think that we are cursed, or we think that there's something wrong with us, or we think that there's something wrong with life. And then we're always praying for it to go back the way it used to be. But what if, and here's the big question tonight, what if it was never meant to be the way it used to be? What if everything that we are going through now is the way it's meant to be? Right? That there's a big lesson. And I'm talking about those who are listening tonight and you're struggling in your health, right? Well, what was the wake up call for me? Well, the wake up call for me was to make better choices with the food that I'm eating, and I'm still learning and discovering this. And if I had not had my health scare like 13 years ago, I probably would not be here anymore because literally how I was eating, I was drinking like may makarelate ito, I was like literally drinking like a maybe 2 or 3 liters of Coca-Cola every day. Yeah, I would have died of diabetes for sure. I was just very unhealthy, like an unhealthy diet. And from that point on, like I started adjusting, but I also wasn't aware of stress in my life. Like, did you know that stressors affect your immune system? Always being angry, but also being fearful, and it affects certain parts of your body, right? Those that are most vulnerable. And then you're wondering why that part of your body is breaking down. Hindi mo alam, lagi kang takot. You're always in fear. You're always in anger. You're always on the edge. You don't want to be living on the edge all the time. And I'm trying to encourage you because I know what it's like to have those panic attacks, those fear attacks. They don't feel good. And I almost had one today, and I was breathing through it. And what helped me was being able, and that's why I'm sharing this tonight. What might help you tonight is to be able to. There's this thing called the ego, right? And when how do you define how you differentiate the ego between the ego and your soul or your spirit or your higher self or the light, the darkness? Well, the ego is always what's projecting fear, right? Kung ano yung nakakatakot, the worst case scenarios, what could go wrong, and many of us don't get to observe that the ego is at work in our lives. Ibig sabihin, we're like on autopilot. Yung automatic lang mag-isip, na-experience yun, hindi mo alam na galit ka na, nag-worry ka na, nabubwisit ka na, You're stressed, you're anxious. But now you're not aware that the ego has taken control of your life and your mind and your emotions. And then you start shaking with anger or with fear or you withdraw. Di ba? Naglalak ka na lang and then you withdraw from people. But to be able to differentiate, like for me, the voice is always the same, right? It's a voice of fear, it's a voice of judgment, and a lot of you have heard this. Like it says the same thing. You're not enough. There's something wrong with you. Why can't you be like other people? Life is better for other people, but not for you. And the moment that you get to recognize that voice is there, for me, I think awareness is the first step towards you becoming empowered. Why is there empowerment? Because you no longer, hindi mo na kailangan magpa-submit dun sa voice. You know, that little voice, for a lot of people, it's a big, loud voice. It does not take over your life anymore. And then you say, okay, this voice is making me fearful. You know, especially with what's happening here in Metro Manila currently. And I guess there's chaos happening again. And I mean, sort of like that. And a lot of people are scared again, and very similar to what was happening last year, right? Although they are saying like we're worse off now and all that stuff. But if you're not pausing and breathing, you're gonna notice that fear will take over your thinking and your emotions. So tonight, if you're listening to this, I'm just your friendly neighborhood voice of encouragement to let you know that um, there is a choice. You can do something different. You can think differently. You can shift your focus tonight. So I hope you were encouraged by this short message. If you need any other support, send me a message and I'd love to encourage you guys and be with you. God bless you.